don't know if you noticed this guy. This is UFC legend Jon Jones.
What's up?
He's right now. That's the belt. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, man. We were just talking about the red ruby situation on the belt. Can you explain?
I had no idea about that, by the way.
Yeah, so the red rubies, so, you know, they put the rubies on this thing, well, the diamonds on this thing, and as you can see, there's one ruby in it right now. I don't know if you guys can see that. And the key is to continue to win, and every time you win, you turn this into the UFC, and they put on another red ruby. So, yeah, that's the goal, is to try to get this thing loaded up with red rubies.
Yeah, you're like Thanos, dude.
Pretty much, yeah.
So this is Thiago Santos right there, then, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's the goal. I've won 14 world titles, so I thought that it would be cool. The UFC just covered mine.
Yeah, what's up to date with Dana? Dana couldn't.
I got to start all over. So, but that's good though, because I've been doing this for so long, and it's important to find little things to keep you motivated, and inspired, and like striving for higher goals. So where a lot of people would be complacent at 14 world titles, I envision continuing to be undefeated and loaded. Yeah, it's a motivation thing for sure.
All right, so speaking of Thiago, you're fighting him July 6th. This is
coming
a
up.
good fight.
Yeah, it should be a good fight.
He's won 8 of the last 9 fights.
Yeah.
4-fight winning streak.
Yeah,
but he hasn't fought Jon Jones.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, a lot of guys that I've fought are on winning streaks. That's how they get to the world title attempt. And my job is to be a dream crusher and to squash anything that they're doing, any momentum that they're gaining, and continue to make my own dreams come true.
So when you look at a guy like Thiago, he's a violent fighter, he's a winner.
He's big and powerful.
What's the strategy going in a fight like this?
The strategy is just to believe, man. I'm big on the power of the mind, and I'm a big believer in myself. And that's all I got to do. I gotta keep my faith intact. I gotta continue to believe the way I do, and I gotta continue to work hard. Belief without hard work is you're just dreaming, right?
True. Yeah. But what I'm trying to get at is it going to be a 30-second bash this guy's brains in, or are we going to be like a 5-round kind of beat him up over the course of 5 rounds and break him down?
I got a feeling that it's going to be a competitive fight.
Yeah.
But I do believe that I'll win the fight, and it'll be a cherry on top if I can finish this fight.
Yeah.
Thiago, he has knockout power in both hands. He's a black belt in Muay Thai. I think he's a black belt in Jiu-Jitsu. Yeah. He seems like a good dude too. He seems like a hard-working man, and I have no ill will towards him. I just want to win.
You've never really lost, and you've
never been beaten.
You've never been beaten. Good way to put it. And every time I try to talk myself into this is the guy that can beat Jon, but then you just make these guys. Well, just because not that I want to. It's not that I want to see you lose. It's just that you like seeing competitive fights.
Right.
But every single time these guys step in there with you and they look like they have no chance against you.
Yeah.
Can you be beaten, and what does somebody have to do to beat you?
I think I can be beaten, but my job is to work extremely hard to make the odds really slim. Yeah. And as far as what a guy needs to do to beat me,
I'm not trying to make you give a scouting report out, but
that's nothing you'd ever hear me say.
He's like, I got a
it's just you're so good. You're so good. I don't think it exists.
I'm actually really ticklish. I think that's the way to get me. You just get right in my armpits.
Comes out like this.
Right there. It's over, bro. I'm terrified. I'm hopping out of the ring.
A couple topics I want to hit real quick. I know before all the Brock Lesnar drama happened, that was a fight that you wanted really badly.
It was your fight.
Called him out. You said, I want to fight Brock Lesnar.
And fans wanted to see that too, by the way. Badly.
And now Brock has told Dana White that that's not going to happen. He's done fighting professionally. He's going to stick with the WWE thing. How do you feel about that? Are you disappointed?
I'm not too disappointed. No, there's a lot of fights at the heavyweight division that are always going to be extremely appealing. We got. Cain Velasquez, Francis Ngannou.
Is that a fight you want?
That's not a fight that I necessarily want, but it's a fight that if it were to present itself, I know it would be huge for everybody involved.
Can you imagine how crazy people would go? People will go crazy over that fight.
That's a scary dude. Yeah. But that's why I'm in it. For it to be hard, and I'm aware that the greater the challenge, that's what makes it great, right? The heart is what makes it great.
You're so versatile. How would you match up against Ngannou?
Francis, no doubt I would look to fight him smart and watch out for those power shots and ultimately get the fight to the ground where I feel like I would have an advantage. Don't start trashing with me and Francis though.
No.
Actually, I shouldn't have said his name.
It's so funny.
I actually like the guy.
It's a big fight though.
Johnny Walker with you.
Okay.
Right? And that's a fight that people have been talking about. We asked you said you're interested in that fight. Johnny Walker said, I'd love to fight you. And then there are a lot of people A lot of people say you're the greatest of all time. You get a lot of positive accolades, but people are quick to jump down your throat too and attack you and talk trash. How do you deal with all that?
Well, one thing about these young fighters, up-and-coming fighters, I try not to get overly impressed with these guys until they prove to me that they're worth the hype. So as far as Johnny Walker, I don't think he's fought anyone in the top 10 or anyone in the top 5, right? So if you allow me to fight the level of competition he's fighting,
I'd mop the floor with
him. Probably look something similar, right? So, I want to see some of these guys who are calling me out constantly. I want to see these guys beat another high-level guy, and then I'll take them more seriously. But I've seen so many guys throughout the years look so promising, like Volkan. Just recently, Volkan was the guy that was knocking out everybody, and then he fought DC, and you got to see what he was against a high-level fighter.
Okay. DC, what's up with that?
Huh? DC?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Nothing?
Nothing.
He says this is probably his last fight after Stipe, probably done. When you hear that, do you have a desire to get in there for a third time?
Do you think he's going to really hang it up?
I've been hearing him say things about fighting Stipe and then ending his career fighting me down at light heavyweight and stuff like that. And I don't believe him. I don't think he's going to ever fight me again. I think it's a lot of pressure for him to get down to the light heavyweight division and then to get down there and climb such a mountain and not get to the actual top. It has to be so crushing, to come up short against me for a third time. So I don't think he'd put himself through that.
Would you do it at heavyweight?
For the right dollar, I would, because DC is a talented guy, and I think if he were to have a better chance of coming up on top against me, it would be him comfortably at heavyweight, right? So I think for me to risk, so much and challenging him in his comfort zone, it would have to make financial sense.
Do you guys still have that bad blood? I mean, that was some of the baddest blood that I've ever seen between fighters. Has it not faded at all?
I think it's faded for sure. Yeah, like if I were to see him in person, I would try to play the role of just being the bigger guy.
Would you shake his hand?
Yeah, I would shake his hand if he wanted to shake hands. I doubt he would want to shake my hand.
Right.
And I'm not overly amped to try to shake his hand. But I have nothing to I try not to disrespect him too bad anymore. I try to just let the guy have what he has and I have what I have. Ultimately, in the history books, people will know who was the dominant fighter out of us two, and that's plenty for me.
Yeah. So I got a question. You're talking about, if the price is right, you'll take these fights. A guy who's been able to kind of call his shot money-wise, Conor McGregor.
Yeah,
right?
He does good.
Not only is he cleaning up, he's the highest paid UFC fighter of all time, right? He said he made $50 million for
I can see that.
Khabib fight. He also now wants UFC ownership, something Dana White has said, I'm not going to give you. Right. Do you think a guy like Conor should get some ownership? And when you hear him saying something like that, you being right in the conversation as people don't think Conor's the greatest UFC fighter of all time. They say it about you. But as far as the most powerful
bigger stars,
star, you're in that conversation. How do you feel when you hear Conor kind of saying that stuff and setting that up?
I think it's great. I think it's great that he is looking for ownership. Conor is, he's the first guy to make $50 million payday and $100 million payday.
That's got to make
boxing.
you feel good, though, right?
Yeah, because he shows that it's possible. I never thought I'd see that in my kind of generation of fighting, and he showed that it can be done. So I love that he's striving for higher goals because through his greatness, he allows all of us to be great, and he allows all of us to see the potential and possibilities that are out there.
Yeah.
So,
so you're get that money.
Get that money.
Rising tide floats all ships. One of those things.
Yeah, he's opening doors for all of us. He's breaking down walls for all of us. So I'm always one to admire people who are doing well and try to emulate that and not to hate on that because it gets me no farther.
I'm smiling because I got to ask. Do you think he beats Khabib in a rematch? I got to ask, man.
It's hard to say. It's hard to say. I'm a wrestler, Khabib's a wrestler, and I know what wrestlers are capable of,
He doesn't think he got beat up in that first fight. He thinks that he put on a really good fight, and you remember he broke it down, he put that Instagram post up. Do you think he's delusional, or do you think he got beat up?
I really, you know what? I have a lot of respect for Conor, and I don't want to sit here and insult him in any way.
Nope.
I don't want to insult him in any way.
Jon Jones thinks Conor got beat up.
I didn't say that.
All right, speaking of getting beat up, though, we got a guy in here, his name is Lucas. Lucas thinks himself as a human crash test dummy.
All right.
Brian Ortega came in here and put him in two different chokeholds, and he loves being like an example to learn new moves. you, being the greatest of all time, I'm wondering if you wanted to teach Lucas a new move.
I would love to.
We got Lucas in the building? But maybe you could teach us like how you're so good at throwing the elbow to somebody like Lucas, and maybe teach Lucas maybe how to defend it in case he's in a street fight with somebody who tries to hit him in the face with an elbow.
I can't show you the defense, but I can show you how to throw it.
Okay, let's see it.
How about that?
I love this.
All right. We call it locking horns.
Yep.
All right, and locking horns is basically when I can get a guy to grab my hands, right? Just like that, right? So a lot of times when people grab hands, your opponent feels the need to push into you.
Okay.
And when my opponent pushes into me, that's when I allow his momentum to come forward, and I'll crash like that.
Oh, Jolly that. Can I touch your elbow?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. That'll mess you up.
That's felt a lot of faces over the years.
I know.
For sure. So you want to give it a try?
Sure.
So we're gonna lock horns, right? And I'll push into you. You'll allow my weight to come forward and let your elbow come over the top. Just like that.
Oh, boom.
That's perfect, yes. In a real scenario, it'll be a lot quicker. I'll push in and I'll actually pull him in closer like that.
Yeah, and then it's over.
And it's a lot of fun,
yeah.
That wasn't too bad, huh?
Yeah, that's pretty good. You
That's the
survived the
idea.
elbow thing. Good job, Lucas. Yeah, man.
Yeah, it is one of my favorite things to throw in a fight, elbows. You know, like my arms are so long, so a lot of people feel the need to get in close to me, to get in, you know, inside of this bubble here. And so what I've learned to do is to have weapons at all ranges.
Here's how I'd fight you.
Oh boy, smart man, smart man.
Jon, thanks for coming in, man.
Thanks for having me, man.
Great.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, man.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
It's an honor to be here at headquarters.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Jon Jones, July 6th in Vegas.
Big fight.
We'll get it done.
Yeah.